Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you all of the products that I hit pan on in 2021. So obviously 2021 isn't over, but I feel like I'm not really going to hit pan on anything else, and if I do, it may be like one product. Even then, I don't see myself hitting pan. So these are all of the products that I hit pan on in 2021. There's not a ton. I feel like there are a lot of products that I completely finished off. So I will be doing a separate video where I talk about all the products that I completely finished in 2021 as well, but I feel like it's interesting to see, or more satisfying to see, what I've hit pan on and to see the pans in my collection. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is a Ace Beauté single shadow. I did get this in a BoxyCharm a while ago, and this is like a really pretty bronzy shade. I do have a little baby pan in there, and these are pretty easy to hit pan on. It's basically the same exact formula as the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. So this is like technically the only like Super Shock shadow I have in my collection now. And I do really like this. It's a really great like one and done look because it's just a really pretty bronzy shade. So I can just put this all over my lid and be done. It didn't take very long to hit pan on, and I did hit pan on it way closer to the beginning of the year. Like I barely remembered that I even had pan on this. This is also a product that I hit pan on close to the beginning of the year. This is my Fenty Beauty highlight in the shade Hustle a Baby. And there is like a baby pan in there. You probably can't even see it, but I did hit pan on this in, I think it was my makeup rolling project pan, and it didn't take super long to hit pan in just because it is where like the logo is. So the logo is already obviously like indented there. So this wasn't super difficult to hit pan on. Obviously it's like a very baby pan. I still have a ton of products left, which pans can be deceiving in that way where you've hit pan and you feel like you can finish it quickly, but really there's like still a ton of product left. Next up, we have a cream blush. This is a ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Aphrodisiac, and I did hit pan on this not super long ago, probably in like the middle of the year, but there's a pretty good size pan in there, and this is one that I do eventually want to finish off. I will also be making a video about products that I want to pan in 2022, so stay tuned for like all the fun project panning content. I feel like December and January are like my favorite months to film because it's like the most exciting videos where you're doing like finales of projects, introducing projects, and sort of like wrap up type videos. So anyways, this one was relatively easy to hit pan on. Again, it's a cream, so it kind of moves around a lot in the pan, and I feel like there's not a ton of product left in here, but this probably would still take a really long time to finish. And then I actually have another highlighter that I hit pan on this year. This is my Makeup Geek highlighter in the shade Nightlight. And I actually think I hit pan on this before my Fenty highlight, maybe. I don't remember which order they were in. But this, again, was in my makeup rolling project pan. And there's like the tiniest bit of pan. You probably won't even be able to see it. And this, again, didn't take me super long just because I use this a lot as like an inner corner and brow bone highlight. So I was dipping into this with like a pencil brush. So I didn't necessarily like just use this as highlight. I technically used it as like eyeshadow, and I hit pan on it a lot faster that way. Next up, we have my Catrice Prime Fine Mattifying Powder. Now, this one, I believe I did already have pan on at the beginning of the year, but I did repress this, and I actually hit pan on it again, so I just wanted to include this one in here kind of for fun. I am like really close to being done with this, but I feel like it takes me so long to finish off powders. So this one, it's definitely like a very thin layer of product in the pan. Hopefully I will have this done by next year. And again, there is like another pan in there, so it's kind of satisfying that I hit pan on it twice. And then I have my Kosas Tropic Equinox Duo, which is actually a spoiler for one of my projects. I did end up hitting pan on the highlighter in here, and these pans are pretty shallow. I feel like there's not like a ton of product in here. I do also want to completely finish this one off, so I'm glad I was able to hit pan on it this year. And obviously I haven't made but much progress on the blush. It was just the highlighter that I was mainly focusing on. So I do really love this duo, and I really love the highlight specifically. I feel like it's very emollient, so it's almost like really thick, like not thick in a bad way, but I don't know, they're definitely like very creamy. Like you touch it with your finger and you kind of get like a lot of product. So I feel like you can go overboard with this one a little bit. And now we have a couple eyeshadow palettes, which I feel like this is going to be a really quick video because there's really not that many products. This again is another spoiler for one of my projects. This is the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palette. And I think earlier in the year, I had already hit pan in the shade Sugar. So I think I hit pan on both of these this year. And then I very recently just hit pan on this cream shadow called Basic. And the shade Sugar has a pretty good pan going in it. And the shade Tickled Pink doesn't have pan in it yet, but it is like very, very close, this shade right here. So that is definitely going to be like the next shade in this palette that I hit pan on. And kind of spoiler alert, I think this is going to be my 2022 project pan, or pan that palette. So yeah, I'm actually not sure. I'm choosing between this and the BH Cosmetics Nouveau Neutrals palette. And the prompt for the Fantastic Ladies collab group, the project like they're all doing together on Facebook, is a big palette, like a big and bulky palette. So I'm either gonna pan this or the BH Cosmetics Nouveau Neutrals palette. Let me know down below in the comments which one I should pan for 2022. That's a complete side note. But I did kind of want to get your feedback on that, but I just wasn't going to make a whole separate video on it. And then lastly, we have another eyeshadow palette. This is the ABH Sultry palette. Again, I do have a couple of shades with pan in here. So I think Steampunk I actually hit pan on a while ago. I don't think that was this year. I think that was at the end of 2020. But the shade Fresh is a new pan, which the only reason I have like more pan in my eyeshadow palettes is because for my makeup rolling pan this year, my makeup rolling project pan this year, I started rolling in an eyeshadow palette with like a cream shade to work on. So I'm constantly working on some kind of cream shade in the eyeshadow palette, and I feel like that's really helped me hit a lot more pans in my eyeshadow palettes, because before this I didn't really have any pans in my eyeshadow palette collection. So I'm really glad that I was able to hit more pans, specifically in my eyeshadow palettes this year, but also obviously in my blushes and highlighters and other products. There are a ton of products that I actually completely finished off. So I feel like the categories are definitely specific to what I have pan in and what I've completely finished off. Like usually the things I hit pan on are like shadows, blushes, highlighters, bronzers, but the things I end up like completely finishing are like concealers, glosses, like brow products, and things that you go through more quickly. So it is kind of interesting to see, but I will be obviously doing that video where I talk about the products that I completely finished off this year as well. And I'm actually going to be doing a bonus video in December for each week. So I'm going to be posting, like usually I post Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But in December, I'm going to be posting Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, at least almost every week, if not every week. So if you want to see more content from me, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below. And if you did enjoy this video, also make sure to give it a thumbs up. I feel like there was a lot of kind of random stuff in this video, just stuff that I wanted to talk about. So make sure to leave a comment down below with feedback, because I love hearing your guys' feedback. It really helps me out a lot. And I also love talking to you guys down below in the comments. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.